I am not afraid of an army of lions led by a sheep, but I'm afraid of a pack of sheep led by lions. I came here to raise lions. I came here to provoke you. I came here to disrupt you. I came here to set that fire inside you. No matter the recession in the forest, a lion will never eat grass. Monkey know the bongo. No. A lion is not the tallest animal in the jungle. A lion is not the biggest animal in the jungle. A lion is not the fattest animal in the jungle. A lion is not the fastest animal in the jungle. So if you ask the lion, did you pass your fastest animal exam? He will say no. Did you pass the longest animal in the jungle? He will say no. Did you pass the biggest animal in the jungle exam? He will say no. Did you pass the wisest animal in the jungle? So what did you get in fastest? F. What did you get in strongest? F. What did you get in this one? F. What did you get in this one? F. So in your school set exam, you get F, 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 F. No problem. But yet he's the king of the jungle. Your academics is not a guarantee for your success. Keep your first class one side. We had a report that they were going to shut Nigeria's border down because COVID happened in China. China. Something happened in China and the economy of different countries were destroyed. There are two things that you are going to get in life. Number one is reason, and number two is result. No matter how fine that tree is, if there are no fruits in it, nobody goes there. Your beauty or your handsomeness is rubbish without result. Your responsibility is to sharpen your skills, pound your brain. It is not a function of his height, not a function of his color, but a function of his brain.
God faithful, now your responsibility too much. God faithful, now your load too much. Load when God not give you, you carry out. Because somewhere in your subconscious mind, if this one no make her, this one go make her. So listen and listen well. Do you know why many of us are poor in Africa? It's the black tax he was talking about. Oh, we carry load that does not belong to us.
Insanity is defined as doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result. I need you to prepare for dominance. Whether you like it or not, domination has come. It is by choice. There are people that are sitting here. You have looked at your result. Your result is showing that you graduate with a 10th class. Your result is showing that you will not come out as a good student. You are even afraid to go back home to your parents and say, Daddy, Mommy, I have failed. Come on. It is because of you I am here today. The instruction of your lecturers that whether you have failed or not does not mean you are going to fail. I don't care what anybody has said about you. Success is your duty. It's your responsibility to succeed. Your father does not owe you anything. Your mother does not owe you anything. The government does not owe us anything. Nothing. The Bible says the kingdom of God is like a man that goes to a far country and he gave unto his servants gifts. The part that hit me was that he said, and he gave to every man according to their several ability. There is something you have. The one that had 5 talents went and traded with it. They did not say he went to do prayer. He went and traded. If you cannot sell, you cannot be rich. But he that had one is from the Niger Delta. He went to dig. He said our resources are inside the pipe there. He buried it. They are petition writers. I'm from Akwa Ibom State. I know my people can write petition. Petition. A critic is somebody that knows what to do but doesn't do it badly till you get it. Nothing starts until you start. Start. I started from my bedroom to the boardroom 2 steps. Today now, I don't even go to the boardroom as much as before. My boardroom is in different states, different countries, because I moved from 2 steps to 50 meters, from there to kilometers, from there to states.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. You're welcome to Ubong King Virtual Hangout. This is going to be one of the amazing engagements you will ever have, in this time and season. The concept of our discussion is a very strategic one, a very timely one. You are welcome. You are welcome. You are welcome. Wherever you are joining from, you can just make it on the comment section. Wherever you are joining from, drop your name. Wherever you are joining from, just drop it in the comment section. Awesome. Where Olumide Emmanuel, yes. Okay. Where you're joining from, just let us know your name or wherever you're joining from. Amazing, guys. This is your best moment, guys. This is your best moment. I mean, the speaker we're having this evening is a household name. He's a man who has actually taught a generation how to make, manage, and multiply money. Trust me, it's going to be very, very amazing. One of the famous sayings is that if I'm not deformed, you will deform. If I'm not inspired, you will expire. If I'm not updated, you'll be outdated. And it takes what you know to actually put you far, ahead in life. Amazing. You can start holding in your name and where you're joining from. Start holding your name and where you're joining from. All right. So Olumide Emmanuel, popularly known as the Commonsense Guru, is no doubt one of the world's leading relationship experts, motivational speaker, and wealth creation agent. Is a man with multiple grace whose influence transcends the religious sphere to the secular arena. With local and international awards to his credit, he's a best-selling author of over 50 book guides, both from self-published platforms and worldwide publishing houses. His books are well celebrated worldwide, 8 of which have been translated into other languages. He has shown that the power of printed word can be far-reaching and preserved for generations. He's a Bible scholar, a role model, a creative speaker, a motivational speaker, a businessman, entrepreneur, wealth creation agent, leadership developer, counselor, resource person, church planter, consultant, and administrator. Olumide Emmanuel is a lover of God, an insightful teacher, preacher, and a man of impeccable integrity who believes in balance. He is the president of the Truth of Calvary Ministries globally and the overseer of a network of churches, including Calvary Bible Church, the Empowerment Assembly, the Glorious Church International, Commonsense Assembly, and the Next Church. He is also the president of the Ministers Forum International. To young people, he's a mentor. Among the unlearned, he's a teacher of common sense. Among the elderly, he's a phenomenal in the school of wisdom. He typically leads his audience in awe and commands the respect of the learned. Olumide Emmanuel is loaded with all-around success, with an executive master's degree in business administration from the University of Huddersfield in the United Kingdom, a real estate executive certificate with a special focus on capital market, project finance, and business strategy from the prestigious Harvard Business School in the United States, and a doctorate in entrepreneurial leadership. He is the owner of the School of Money, Wisdom for Winning, and Commonsense is not common, broadcast with millions of followers in addition to many other laudable shows on his Commonsense television platform. He's the executive director of the Entrepreneurship Academy and Success Business and Leadership School. Both platforms for a new breed, rare breed entrepreneurs, and kingdom ambassadors are being empowered and released for market seminars. He's the host of numerous seminar summits, the conferences which include the School of Money, Wisdom for Singles, Wisdom for Couples, Matrimony Summit, the New Rules of Love Summit, the Ministers Conference, Kingdom CEO Summit. He's on the board of many businesses and organizations, while he directly manages some of them, including Plus Global Futures and the Commonsense Group, where he serves as the chairman. He's also the CEO of the group with subsidiaries in sectors such as real estate, oil and gas, travel and tours, publishing, media, consulting, training, and seminar. He's a philanthropist and humanitarian. He founded the non-governmental organization Diamond Forum International to empower youth and raise the next generation, and Olumide Emmanuel Foundation, also with the aim of eradicating poverty and establishing a positive legacy. Through the Olumide Emmanuel Ministries, he trains and mentors a new generation of kingdom ministers and ministries. He's married to Honorable Chief Mrs. Adenike, a kingdom minister, politician, and businesswoman, and they are blessed with 3 children, Precious, Samuel, and Enoch. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the things I know this man does is that he damages ignorance. Guys, friends, our ignorance is about to be damaged by Dr. Olumide. With a rounding ovation, a clapping ovation, can we make welcome Dr. Olumide Emmanuel? You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. How are you all doing today?
We're doing good. How are you doing also, sir?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
All right. So we're going to illustrate to the topic of this virtual hangout, which is thriving, in a very downturn economy. So, from your business world of experience, sir, how would you describe Nigeria's economy in comparison with other African nations?
Well, like you said, I look at things from different perspectives. So for me, Nigerian economy, when compared with other economy in Africa, cannot actually be compared. Why do I say that? Many times people see problems where there are opportunities. So for me, I always say that crisis creates opportunities. Crisis creates opportunities. So when we look at the economy of Nigeria, for me, has been as bad as it has always been for decades. Why do I say that? The United Nations defines living in poverty as living below $2 a day, and living in extreme poverty as living below $1 a day. And to the best of my knowledge, in the last 35 years of this country, a lot of people, well over 70% of people in Nigeria, has been living below poverty. So when we look at the economy of Nigeria with reference to the poverty indices, over 70% of Nigerians have been poor for the past 35, 40 years. So the question now is, what is different? People are becoming more knowledgeable about their states and the situations around them. People are becoming more aware about the effects of the general economy and the government and politics on their own economy. So in trying to compare Nigerian economy to other African economy, we need to have empirical data. We need to have actual indices that we can use for the comparison. Because right now in Africa, if we are looking at the per capita income, if we are looking at the GDP, you find out that we are still within the top 5 in the continent. However, because of our population, you find out that we have more people in poverty in Nigeria than anywhere on the continent.
Wow. You have actually said some amazing facts that 70% of Nigerians, over about 4 decades now, 70% of Nigerians actually live in abject poverty. There was a statistic that was also that out of about 200 million people, about 108 million people are actually living in extreme poverty. From what you have said, it is clear that our economy is not thriving. What do you think got us to this mess?
Well, one of the things you need to understand is that money flows in exchange for value. Money flows in exchange for goods and services. Nigeria is a consumer nation. We are not a producer nation. And any nation that is a consumer nation will always be at the bottom of the ladder. Think about it. When the Creator created the world, He did not create many worlds. He created just one world. However, we have nations like Nigeria that we call third world nation. So why will you call a nation a third world nation when there is only one world? Nations are defined by virtue of their production or consumption. So because we are more of a consumer nation than a producer nation, we are called a third world nation. So one of the major reasons why we are where we are is, number one, we are not producers, we are consumers. Our crude oil is not being refined. All our farm products are not being refined. Even the people are not being refined because our educational sector is in shambles. All the different infrastructures and policies that should be in place to equip and empower and position people to maximize their individual possibility and become strong entrepreneurs are not in place. And then we now come to the great one, leadership. We've had a leadership deficiency in the nation for decades. And all this put together has kept us where we are. So we are one of the richest nations on earth when it comes to natural produce, when it comes to potential, when it comes to possibilities. But we are still one of the poorest nations on earth because all these possibilities have not been well harnessed due to leadership deficiency and all the different things I've itemized. So it's very important for every one of us to rise up and play our part to see how we can change the narrative so that a new breed can emerge and change the story.
Amazing, amazing, sir. Everything rises and falls. Leadership. We have a leadership deficiency, and if we can fix it, a new breed can come that can actually change the narrative. All right, sir. The overreaching theme nowadays, in the midst of the turbulent economy, is surviving. People just want to survive. I mean, people just want to live every day, surviving. What solutions would you actually recommend to Nigerians, to not just survive but to thrive in this old turbulent economy, sir?
Now, for many years, decades ago, a man by the name of Maslow was trying to find out why people behave the way they behave. And in trying to find out why people behave the way they behave, he stumbled upon the fact that people live at different levels in life. And he realized that the lowest level of life that humanity operates on is the survival level. And he was able to help us to realize that when people are at the survival level of life, they are not necessarily different from an animal. Why? Because when they are at the survival level of life, the basest instinct, the basest nature of man begins to show up because they are ready to cross boundaries, compromise, and do all kinds of stuff just to survive. So I will say that the first thing that anyone will need to do in order to thrive is to rise above survival mentality. Survival mentality is a base mentality. Survival mentality will never allow you to make a difference because in order for you to become significant, you have to contribute. When people operate on survival mentality, they don't think of contribution, they don't think of distribution, they think of consumption, and they remain at the lower level. But in this world, in order for you to thrive, you must offer value. Money flows in exchange for value. You are only paid for the problems you solve. But when you are at the survival level of life, you are not thinking of solving a problem because you are part of the problem. So for you to thrive, you must eradicate survival mentality. You must look beyond yourself, because if you help others to achieve and get what they need to achieve and get, they will
God faithful, now your responsibility too much. God faithful, now your load too much. Load when God not give you, you carry am. Because somewhere in your subconscious mind, if this one no make am, this one go make am. So listen and listen well. Do you know why many of us are poor in Africa? It's the black tax he was talking about. Oh, we carry load that does not belong to us.
Guys, all right, guys. While we wait for Dr. Olumide Emmanuel to actually join us back, we also need to emphasize on some of the things that he has said. He spoke about for us to try, we have to first of all rise above survival level. The survival level is a level that focuses more on consumption than contribution. I mean, it's not just about consumption. It's not about consuming. You know, what are you contributing? I mean, what value are you bringing in exchange for results, for money? So a lot of people are thinking, I'm struggling. No, you are not struggling. You have not just discovered the right thing to actually do for you to get ahead in life. You have not discovered. So the question you need to start asking yourself, what can I contribute, you know, to the society? What can I contribute to my environment? What value do I have to offer? The true reality about life is that everyone was born naked, but no one was born empty. There's something that you have to contribute to the society. I've always said to a few of my friends that there's no gift that is useless. It is only used less. There's no gift that is useless. It is only used less. So there's something you have to contribute. There's something you have to contribute. It's not just about fine clothes. It's not just about broad-chested six packs. You know, it's about sense, right? It's about sense. You know, because I believe that life is not a dressing competition. If you are not loaded, you are not needed. There's something the society is looking for. Can you offer it? You know, can you offer it to the society? You know, while we wait for Dr. Olumide Emmanuel, we'll just see one excerpt of Dr. Ubong King's video. So enjoy and sit back while we wait for Dr. Olumide to.
We had a report that they were going to shut Nigeria's border down because COVID happened in China. China. Something happened in China, and the economy of different countries were destroyed. There are two things that you are going to get in life. Number one is reason, and number two is result. No matter how fine that tree is, if there are no fruits in it, nobody goes there. Your beauty or your handsomeness is rubbish without results. Your responsibility is to sharpen your skills. Pound your brain. It is not a function of his height, not a function of his color, but a function of his brain.
Doctor, are you back, sir?
I'm back.
I'm
back.
Fantastic. So sorry about that.
Network wahala.
It's part of the issues that we have. You know, I thought
we need 5G and 7G now.
Wow. Wow. So, sir, before the break, transition, we were discussing about for people to actually try, we need to first of all rise above the survival mentality and think about contribution and distribution. So I don't know if you can continue.
Because see, it's money flows in exchange for values, and value is answering questions, meeting needs, and solving problems. So when you are at the survival level of life, operating based on survival mentality, the first thing is you are only thinking about yourself. You are not thinking of answering questions. You are not thinking of meeting needs. You are not thinking of solving problems. And that keeps you at the bottom. So for you to rise above survival to begin to thrive, you must eradicate that survival mentality and begin to think of how you can add value to people by meeting need, answering questions, and solving problems. And then you become a solution provider. I said earlier on that crisis creates opportunities. So when you look all around you, no matter how terrible things are, it's the ability to be able to maximize the opportunities around that helps you to thrive. Because one man's problem is another man's opportunity. When you are hungry, the food seller makes money by virtue of your hunger problem. When you don't have a roof over your head, the landlord makes money based on your shelter problem. When you do not have ability to move from one place to the other, then the transporter makes money by virtue of your mobility problem. So one man's problem is another man's opportunity. So no matter how terrible things are, there are always opportunities around you that you can explore and that will help you to begin to thrive in any environment.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you so much for that profound answer. Someone came to me with a question and said, I'm tired, I'm underpaid, I have a family to feed. Should I quit my job and get another one or start a business? What's your advice for that individual, sir?
Now, whether you work for yourself or you work for someone, it's all a function of your mindset. You see, you have to become rich in order to attract the riches. You have to become wealthy in order to attract the wealth. That person already thinks that the way out is by earning a salary. If that person moves from one job to another job and they don't change their mindset, increments in salary does not equal to increments in lifestyle. You might have increments in salary, it still doesn't change anything. And if that person goes ahead to start a business with that kind of mindset, they will also fail in business, because business is another ballgame entirely. Entrepreneurship is heavy. And for you to succeed as an entrepreneur, there is a kind of spirit, a kind of mindset that you need to have. And that person's question already reveals that they don't have it yet. Because even when you are working for somebody else, you don't work to earn, you work to learn. And when you are working for someone and your focus is impact, your focus is offering value, you can be an intrapreneur, which means that you are working for somebody else, but you are working within that organization as if you own the organization. So you are giving it your all. You are giving it your best. That is what makes you to have accelerated promotion and to have career growth in that place in a higher dimension than those that do not have that. So my advice for that person will be, work on yourself before you work on your finances.
Work on yourself before you work on your career. So you're talking about that entrepreneur. I know some people are just hearing it for the first time. I don't know if you can, speak a little bit. If you can, speak a little more about entrepreneur and give instances.
Okay. Now, a lot of people, when they go to work as salary earners. So we have what we call the employee and employer relationship. Now, when you have an employee-employer relationship, it's because you have gone into that place with a mindset of salary. But when you are an intrapreneur, you don't have an employee-employer relationship. You have a partnership and collaborative relationship. You are going into that place to labor as if you are the owner of the company. So you don't have resumption time. You don't have closing time. You don't have weekend. You don't have job description. You do everything that you can do to ensure that you change that organization. So when you enter into a company and you get in there, you want to find out, what are the needs of the company? What can I do? What extra can I add to the ordinary here to become extraordinary? You are not thinking salary. You are not thinking, it's 5 o'clock, may have closed, I'm going home. It's weekend, it's public holiday, I cannot work on public holiday. When you have all those kind of mindsets, you are not even ready for entrepreneurship. Why? Because entrepreneurship is you being an entrepreneur on staff in somebody else's office. So somebody is the owner of the company, they have employed you, but you are working in that company not as a staff, not as a salary earner, but as a collaborator, as a partner with the owner of the company to ensure that that company achieves their target and exceeds their target. When you begin to operate in that mindset, you won't think closing, you won't think salary, you won't think that one is not my job description. No, all those kind of things will not be there because you are there like your own. Because when you finally start your own business, there will be no weekend, there will be no public holiday, there will be no closing time, no resumption time. Everything that is done will be done. So start doing that now in somebody else's business as an intrapreneur, and then it opens you up to the next dimension of your own life.
Wonderful, sir. Wonderful. Thank you so much for that answer, sir. Sir, what skills are needed to get through these times as an individual, a business owner, as a married person, and more importantly, as a nation?
Well, your question is manifold, many-sided, but let me pick it one after the other. So let me begin with an individual. as an individual in the 21st century world that we are today, number one, you need communication skill. You need what? Communication skill. You need to be able to communicate. Number two, you need interpersonal skill. You need to be able to relate with other people. Number three, you need crisis management skill, because you're going to have crisis with people. You need, number four, you need problem solving skills, because you're going to be able to have a lot of problems that will need to be solved. Number five, you need decision making skills, because there's going to be a lot of decisions that will need to be made as you move on in your journey. And as someone that wants to excel, you also need ICT skill. You need to have the ability to communicate using the present day technology, because technology is part of what you will need in order to excel. The world that we live in today, the internet, the world has become a global village, and the internet is the village square. Then you also need team building skill, the ability to work with people as a team. Then you also need emotional intelligence. You need to be emotionally intelligent to be able to succeed in the marketplace. So these are some of the skills that you will require as an individual for you to be able to excel in the world that we live in today. Then as a nation, we need to come back into the place of patriotism, into the place of recognizing that our greatest asset as a nation is not the crude oil. Our greatest asset as a nation is not our landmass. Our greatest asset as a nation is our people, is our population. So we need to begin to develop leadership skills, the ability to lead, the ability to coordinate all available resources to achieve that which needs to be achieved. Because when you look at a nation and the nation does not have respect for lecturers, and they don't have a good educational system, they don't have respect for doctors, they don't have a good healthcare system, I will show you a nation that is going nowhere. So that is why we are where we are today, because from cradle to the grave, you find out that all the things that needs to be in place to help people to maximize their potential and maximize their possibilities are not there. And these are things that we all need to develop if we are going to matter in the world that we live in today.
Thank you so much, sir. You, the last statement you made mention of education. You're talking about bad priorities. Our priorities are not intact. We no longer focus on the priority of education. Education is the priority. We don't pay attention to our lecturers, and as a result of that, a lot of students are presently suffering from ASU strike at the moment. So, what advice would you have for those students to thrive in these difficult times for them?
Well, a Chinese proverb said, "He that teaches not his son a trade is as if he has taught him to be a thief." He that teaches not his son a trade is as if he has taught him to be a thief. What does that mean? It means that no matter what you do in this world, you need to have a trade. That means you need to have something that you have that you can trade for money. Now, whether you are a student or not, when it comes to wealth creation, when it comes to prosperity and riches, academic education is not the key to financial breakthrough. If you are going to become successful financially, it is not by academic education. Academic education only does 5 things. It teaches you to read, it teaches you to write, it teaches you to do mathematics, it teaches you to analyze, and it teaches you to think and to be able to use your mind. Now, once that is done, you now move on beyond that. So that's why you see a lot of people, they are BSc in business administration, they can't run a barbering salon or a restaurant or a supermarket successfully, because education only teaches you the theory, they don't teach you practical. It is only in a place like Nigeria that people will graduate with BSc in zoology, and there is no zoo in Nigeria. They have never seen a lion before. It's only in Nigeria that somebody will graduate with BSc in computer science, and it is Windows 98 that is in the lab in the university where they graduated. So you find out that academic education is not enough if you are going to excel. But while you are going through the academic education, you need to find out what are the natural potentials, the natural deposits within you, so that you can discover them, develop them, and deploy them. Because everyone has what they need inside them. Your gold is tied to your gifts. Your treasure is tied to your talent. Your profit is tied to your potential. So right now that you are on strike, if you have something by the side, not every student that is on strike now is having trouble. I have a lot of people around me that are on strike, but they're already cashing in. They are making money. What are they doing? They already have something doing. Some of them are caterers. Some of them are fashion designers. Some of them are graphic artists. Some of them are social media managers. And they are students. Now that they are not in school, they are busy doing what is their own trade. So what is your trade? ASU is on strike. If they are on strike for the next 3 years, will your life be on strike? ASU being on strike does not mean your life should be on strike. So every student should have a trade. Learn something. Use this opportunity now to go and learn graphic artists, learn social media marketing, learn drop shipping, learn something that you can always do. Because even when you are in school, you are supposed to be in school. When we were in school, we had people that were doing barbing, people that were doing photographer, people that were doing photocopy, people that were selling books while on campus. So you cannot just be in school today and say, I'm a student, and you are doing nothing. No. You must have something else you are doing. So that when ASU is on strike, you focus on your trade. When ASU resume, you continue your school and put your trade as secondary. So that's the way it works. So they just need to use the opportunity of this strike to learn what they can learn. Any student that is on strike now and resume the way they were when they went on strike, you yourself, you are on strike.
Powerful. You actually said some profound words. I could remember there was a time when school was on strike. That was the time I also made my first million, about 1.2 million, as a salesperson working for a real estate company. I mean, it was around that time I found something doing. But sir, a lot of people are still confused. You know, you made mention of trade, finding your trade. You know, people are asking some strategic question. What should I learn? You know, is it fashion designing? You know, how am I sure I'm making the right trade decision? Is it going to matter? So a lot of people are confused as to what kind of trade should they actually engage. So I don't know if you can help us provide insight into that also.
Now, sometimes we confuse ourselves because we want to do everything perfectly from the beginning, and it does not work like that. Many of the people you see today, they stumbled into what they were supposed to be doing. Many of them, they went blindly into the reality of what they were supposed to be doing. So don't wait for perfect condition. Whatever your hand finds to do, do it. Whatever opportunity comes around you, exploit. It is in doing what you can do with what you have in the place you are that you will now begin to discover yourself. You don't discover yourself without using yourself. You have to be doing something. It is when you do something, you will know that I'm not good in this one. I am good in this one. So it is you doing something. So step out. If you cannot fly, run. If you cannot run, walk. If you cannot walk, crawl. Just make sure you are making progress. So don't tell me I'm confused. I don't know what to do. You know something. Whatever you can do now, whatever your hand finds to do, do it. Whatever is around you, that's an opportunity or a task, do it. Volunteer yourself. Go and volunteer. Go and do internship. Go and submit to mentorship. Go and learn. And while you are doing that, you will discover yourself on the way. So let's not get into, oh, I don't know what my dream is. I don't know what my vision is. I don't know what my passion is. Just start with whatever is around you. That's what is the low-hanging fruit. As you start from there, everything will make sense with time.
Amazing. You have heard everyone. You have heard, start with what you are. There's a popular saying that man is not limited by what he does not have. A man is limited by what he has that he does not know how to use. So like you have said, do whatever your heart finds to do, and after a while you discover what your heart wants to do. All right, another question. How can a young graduate with little or no skills make money, multiply money, and manage them?
Now, you see, from your question alone, we see that there is a problem. You see, how can a young graduate with little or no skill? So what was he doing in school? He went to graduate and he graduated without little or no skill. Is that not a problem? That means he went to school. School didn't go through him. I itemized a lot of skill. So all through going to school, he did not develop problem-solving skill, team building skill, communication skill, interpersonal skill, leadership skill, emotional intelligence. So what did he now go and do in school? What was he doing in the whole of the 4 years of being in school? That being said, in order to make, manage, and multiply money, it's a long journey, but it begins with you. Because many times a lot of people ask me, oh, sir, what is the greatest, what do you think we should invest in? What is the number one thing that somebody should invest in? And I tell them, invest in yourself. So the first thing for that person to do will be to invest in themselves. When you invest in yourself, then you can now begin to do something that will help you to be able to make money. Now, you mentioned something very important, which is the fact that you were using the opportunity of being in the same ASU strike to do marketing. And as a marketer, you made over $1 million selling for a real estate company. Now, that is you using your communication skill. That is you using your problem-solving skill to be able to do what? To be able to make money. So the question what I will tell anyone that wants to make money is, number one, do something. Offer value, meet needs, solve problem. And once you have that going, the money begins to flow, because everybody is anointed to spend. You don't need any special skill to spend money. Everybody is anointed. Spending is natural, but making money is a skill, because there is how to make money, there is how not to make money. So you make money by working. So start working either for yourself or for others. And as you begin to work, you offer value, you meet needs, you solve problem, money will come. When the money now begins to come, you now need to manage it, because the ability to manage money is what determines whether the money will stay or it will reduce or it will be multiplied. So once you are able to now manage the money, then you can now multiply. So there is money making skill, there is money management skill, there is money multiplying skill, and each of these alone is a journey that everybody needs to go through.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. If you have a question, you can be dropping them. We're going to be picking them one after the other. But there's a question here, sir. What would be your advice or counsel for today's youth who want quick fixes like Yahoo, Uko, and other nonsense that people are doing? What would be your advice or counsel?
Well, every year we have what we call the Forbes list of billionaires. Every year, for as long as I know, they list out the names of all the billionaires in the world. Have you ever seen a ritualist as the richest man in Nigeria? Have you ever seen a ritualist as the richest man in Africa? Have you ever seen a Yahoo person as the richest man in the world? Have you ever seen a prostitute or a kidnapper as the richest man in Nigeria, the richest man in the world? So when you look at the list of richest people all over the world, you don't see ritualists there. You don't see 419 there. You don't see Yahoo there. You don't see prostitutes there. You don't see armed robbers there. What does that tell you? So for every one Yahoo person that you see, you spending money as if there's no tomorrow, there are about 1.7 billion or 1.7 million Yahoo people that have wasted away their life. So anyone that decides that Yahoo is the way they want to go, that's the way their life will go, Yahoo. That's the way it works. So it's not a way to go. It is one of the how not to make money. You don't make money by cheating. You don't make money by stealing. So that is how not to make money. So anyone that decides to say Yahoo, they want to do, show me somebody that is a Yahoo person that has done Yahoo or prostitution or kidnapping or armed robbery, and it has become a generational blessing. Say the person do and where, and them over to his children do and where, and over to the third generation. Show me one generational Yahoo or generational prostitute or generational armed robber, and I will tell you there is none. So why will you want to go into something that is just going to ruin your life? As far as I'm concerned, it's a lack of understanding of the value you carry that will make you to submit your life to all those kind of elementary operation.
Wow, thank you so much. Before we move away from that question, one of the thought patterns sponsoring this move is that people believe there's something called get rich quick. You know, and if you look at our generation, the millennials and the Gen Zs, we don't have patience as part of our curriculum. I mean, we want something fast, like ASAP. So are there legal actions, legal activities, that can actually bring about get rich quick?
There is nothing like get rich quick. It's a deception. Anything meaningful takes time. Anything that will last takes time to be built. Wealth is created and it takes time to create wealth. Get rich quick is a scam. There is nothing like self-made millionaire. There is nothing like get rich quick scheme. That is why covetousness and greed has become the software running people's life. If you get crash, you will crash land. If you appear before your time, you will disappear. So all this get rich quick scheme is a scam. Well, for you to make money that will last, it takes time. If you jump up, you will come down. If you grow up, you will stay up. So get rich quick scheme is a scam.
I wish everybody can just type it. Get rich quick is a scam. Let us actually stick in you. Get rich quick is a scam. Moving on to the next question. Running a business in Nigeria is tough and requires a lot of grit and tenacity. What would be your most practical advice on thriving strategies for startup and business owners?
Well, in the world that we live in today, you have to learn, unlearn, and relearn continually. And you need to understand that there is what we call the new rules of money and the new rules of life. Because what works before may not work anymore. Even the post-COVID world is different from the pre-COVID world. So any businessman or businesswoman that wants to excel must continually reinvent themselves. Continually reinvent yourself in order for you to excel. So my advice for them would be, number one, make sure that the product or the service that you are offering is valuable. Number two, continue to work on your products and services to remain valuable. It may be valuable, but if you don't continue to work on it, it may stop being valuable. So you have to continue to work on it to remain valuable. That's what we call quality control and research and development. So you have to ensure that quality control and research and development is tight. Then number three, you have to ensure that you understand your customer. Because if you don't understand your customer, you're going to get into trouble. Today's customer, the pre-COVID customer and the post-COVID customer are two different customers. Customer behavior has changed. Customer attitude has changed. Customer expectations has changed. So you have to understand the customer so that as the customer is changing, you are changing to reach the customer, changing to meet the customer where they are. And that's the reality of today's world. And then number four, you have to continually evaluate the business you are doing with reference to the environment that you are in. The environment is also changing every day, every week. Environment is changing. So you cannot sit down and not be cognizant of the changes in your environment, or else you will just discover that the world has left you behind. So you have to be aware of the policy around you, the politics around you. You have to be aware of the powers around you. You have to be aware of the problems around you, and you have to be aware of the possibilities around you. So the policy, the politics, the powers, the problem, and the possibilities. Once you understand all these things, it will help you to continue to know how to navigate as a businessman. And then finally, you have to have a never give up spirit. You have to have toughness, mental toughness, and tough, because in a place like Nigeria, may Nigeria never happen to you. To be an entrepreneur in Nigeria is an exceptional grace. So if you are going to be an entrepreneur, you have to be thick-skinned. You have to have tough skin. You have to have mental toughness. And you have to have a never give up spirit. You have to have that can-do spirit so that no matter what, we die here.
Wow. I like that last line. No matter what, we die here. One of the things that I'm actually in that space too. I know what my eyes have seen. Vendors will hurt your emotion. Traffic lights will affect you. Delivery guys will finish you. So it's very, very challenging. But my question is for those who are startups. I remember when we shared one of our ideas to some people, some venture capitalist firm. They were like, this idea, we're trying to seek for investment, and they were making some ridiculous demands for equity share. Some were saying they will give 10 million for 15% equity share. So many startups in Nigeria, they have issues when it comes to starting their idea, starting their whatever idea they have in raising money. So what advice would you actually give in respect to that, sir?
Okay, well, one of the things I've come to realize is that when people start out in life, they tend to forget that what they start out with is not the only thing that is in them. And most of the time, we fall in love with our ideas. And many times, because we fall in love with our ideas, we end up becoming victims of the idea. So I will always say to people, when you find yourself betting an idea, and that idea has come to a level where some people are willing to partner with you, learn to open up for people to come on board. Why? It is better to have 10% of 1 billion than to have 100% of 10 million. So many times we think because we are falling in love with our idea, we overestimate the importance of what we have. And instead of opening up a part of it for people to bring in the fund that will help us to leverage on what we do, we don't do what needs to be done. Then for you as a businessman, an idea person, someone that has an idea or that has a platform or that has an invention, to be able to attract venture capitalists or attract equity partners or attract investors, number one, you must make sure that whatever idea you have is protected. When that idea is protected, it means that when people invest into it, they are not investing into something that can be easily duplicated. Then, apart from protecting the idea that you have, the next thing you need to do is there has to be documentation of the processes and the possibilities. Because when people want to invest, all they want to see is show me the money. And if you are someone that is doing business without documents, you don't have a registered company, you don't have accounts, all the money that comes, you are not paying into the account for them to see your cash flow, to be able to see the trajectory of inflow, then there will be a problem. And then you also need to understand that you must have the ability to sell the invincible. The ability to sell the invincible, because most of the time, when you are selling an idea to someone, that idea is invincible, yet tangible. But you that are the visionaire, you can see the tangibility of the idea as a result of the fact that it came from you. And because of the tangibility of the idea, you should now be willing and able to sell that impossibility to them so that they can see the invincible. And when you sell the invincible to them, it becomes tangible to them also, and then they're able to release cash. So there's a lot that needs to be done for people to be able to get funding. And these are some of the things that we assist them in doing that.
Wow. Thank you so much, sir. I hope entrepreneurs have learned a great deal from the answer. So someone asked the question from the audience, sir, how can someone manage school and business? Being that when I started, I had no money to fund my education at the early stage of my life because there was no money. So I had to move into business. How can I manage school and business?
Okay, I give you an example using what you have said. Real estate. In the real estate sector today, there are 4 possibilities that you can play. Number 1, you can be a regulator. Number 2, you can be a realtor. Number 3, you can be a developer. Number 4, you can be an investor. Now, if you choose to be a realtor, like you said, you made over $1 million doing realtorship. To be a realtor, you don't need any money. So all this money thing is just excuses and lack of understanding and ignorance. You don't need money. So even as a student, you can be a real estate realtor, selling real estate to your lecturers, selling real estate to the parents of your classmates, selling real estate to your family member. There are so many things you can do. You say people are doing Yahoo. The people doing Yahoo, are they not students? What are they using to do their Yahoo? Is it not laptop and phone? So can't you also carry the same laptop and phone and be doing graphic artists? Can't you also carry the same laptop and phone and be a social media manager? In what way do you need money to do all that? So you don't need money. Most of the time, when people say they need money, it's not money they need. So you can be a student and still do a lot and succeed. All you need to know is, what do I need to do? And realtorship is one of them. There's so much you can do with your mobile phone. So much that you can do with your mobile phone that you'll be amazed at how much money you can make just using your time to exchange for value, and money will flow.
Okay, thank you so much, everyone. You have learned on that. If you're a student, please take note of that. You can join the real estate space where you have opportunity to, as a realtor, to sell without just owning. Like, you can sell already established properties from companies. Someone asked a question here. Please, do you have special classes for parents with grown children?
Well, I have classes for everybody, but my advice would be that you get my School of Money book. The School of Money book. The School of Money book is the Bible of wealth creation. It's the book that teaches you how to make, manage, and multiply your money. And if you are an elderly person or a mother, when you get the book and you go through the book, it becomes a curriculum. So the same way you use your Bible to do morning devotion every day, you can now use the School of Money to do weekly devotion every week. So when you use the School of Money to do weekly devotion every week, everybody can read. You can even order for the Wealth Creation Pack. When you order for the Wealth Creation Pack, you will have the soft copy of the School of Money book so that you can share it among your family member. Everybody can read it from Monday to Friday. Then every Saturday night or Sunday night, all of you gather and do a review from chapter 1, chapter 2. Before you know it, it can be 1 year of the School of Money, and all of you will graduate together. So that is one very important thing I will tell you to do. Then you can follow me on all my social media platforms and also download the CSTV app. When you download the CSTV app, Commonsense TV, when you download the CSTV app, every Sunday by 8 a.m. to 10 a.m., I run the Success Business and Leadership School. So you can follow that weekly. And then, apart from that, every Sunday, when you follow me on social media, I do a lot of Insta Live sessions. Like this Sunday now, I'm doing Insta Live with Eben. Another 2 weeks' time, I do another one with Adiola. Another 2 weeks' time, I do another one with Omoni Oboli. So I do a lot of Insta Live sessions to educate people and to teach people. So my advice for that woman or that man that asked the question is, get the School of Money book. And you can do that by visiting my website, www.olumideemmanuel.org, olumideemmanuel.org, or you call 0809 144 7423, 0809 144 7423, or 0802 305 9058, 0802 305 9058, or you email our overseer at gmail.com, our overseer at gmail.com. Any of these platforms will get you connected to the book.
Much, sir. Guys, you have learned how to actually get the School of Money. It is actually good to read material like School of Money. I remember I bought it 2018. That was when I got my own copy of School of Money, and it has actually changed my life strategically. It takes what is in your head to actually forge ahead. You know, Dr. Ubong King will say only those who pay attention. I want to encourage us to actually get the book. Again, you can get it at olumideemmanuel.com, and the contact, I want to repeat the contact again, 08091 447423, 08091447423. You can actually get all his information material on those platforms. So a few questions before we call this a day. What risk investment channels? What risk-free investment channels would you recommend to Nigerians?
Number one, there is no risk-free investment anywhere in the world. There is no risk-free investment anywhere in the world. So we must understand that, because every investment has its own attendant risk. But the question is the risk worth the return? So for investment is risk return. So that's investment, risk return, risk return, risk return. That's investment. So anytime you hear the word investment, you know that it is a risk and return coming to you. And then when you look at it, sometimes you now know that, oh, this risk is worth the return, and then you risk it, because you need to understand that in the world that we live in today, nothing is risk-free. So for me, when people ask me what they can invest into, I ask them a few questions. Number one, what is your investment goals? What is your investment goal? Number two, what is your risk appetite? Number three, how much do you have to invest? Number four, how long do you want to invest for? Those are questions that I ask people. So for me, one of the most powerful investments that I have seen, that is the number one vehicle of wealth creation, number one vehicle of wealth retention, and number one vehicle that has been able to rise above inflation and rise above devaluation is real estate. So I tell people, do everything you can to come into the real estate space. And for those that are watching now, since you mentioned it, that you made money as a realtor, I can give you an opportunity to also make money as a realtor. We have an estate in Uyo. Madiba Estate is in Uyo, on the Nongdo Road, near where you have the Air Force Secondary School. Now, a plot of land in that estate is 3 million. Is a VIP estate. Is service estate. A plot of land is 3 million for the land and documentation and everything. We are presently doing a 50% discount that expired during Easter, and by tomorrow it will expire completely. But for those of you on this platform right now, if there's anybody that is looking for a plot of land with documentation, we have certificate of deposit, we have all the documents, you can go there, call those numbers and go and see it. Then we'll extend the 50% discount for the next 1 week until Saturday, the 7th of May. Until Saturday, the 7th of May, we extend the 50% discount. So you pay 1.5 instead of 3 million. And then for those of you that do not have the money to buy, if you know anybody that can buy, when you get somebody to buy, you will now get 5% commission. So for everybody that buys at 1.5, you get 75,000. So you can contact us so that we'll give you all the details. They go and check the documentation, because we advise people to investigate before they invest. And then for those that are in the diaspora, we have the Madiba apartment here in Lagos. And that Madiba apartment is 2-bedroom luxury apartment, 9 units of 2-bedroom apartment, and each apartment is going for 29 million outright purchase, and then 33 million 12-month payment, and 35 million 18-month payment. And then somebody says they are in Lagos. For those of you that are in Lagos, I offer you Ikorodu, Dream City Estate in Ikorodu. Dream City Estate is in Ikorodu, and that estate is going for 3 million naira for both the land and documentation. And there is no promo on that. But for those of you that are here now, let me knock off 1 million and do it for 2 million. So Dream City Estate Ikorodu, 2 million for land and documentation. I will extend that also between now and the 7th of May. So you can go ahead, call those numbers. It has CFO, it has government approved layout, and it's a powerful location so that you can visit the place and plug in. And if you bring somebody to buy that also, I give you 5% commission.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. They can also reach out to those contacts for more inquiries. Website and the contact that was shared earlier. So in one of your videos online, you made mention of people coming together, dropping their beats for a combined project. There was a specific one you said that, for instance, there's a property of 10 million, someone coming, a group of people dropping maybe a 500K together. I don't know if you can speak more about that, sir.
Okay, what I was trying to help people to understand, like I said earlier on, is it is better to have 10% of 1 billion than to have 100% of 10 million, which means instead of trying to do everything by yourself, the world we live in today, the 21st century, is a world of collaboration, is a world of partnership, is a world of networking. So you need to look for your tribe men, your tribe women. You need to look for your own club, your own G. You need to look for your own people. When I say tribe, I'm not talking Igbo, Hausa, Yoruba. I'm talking of people of the same value, the same mindset, the same dream, the same goal. Look for people that you will come together as a group and invest together. So that instead of somebody looking for 10 million, if it's only 1 million you have, look for 9 people that have 1 million. Come together, put your 10 million together, get the opportunity, because opportunities will not always be there and opportunities will not always be at the same price. So that's the way it works. Race from London, you are asking if my book is on Amazon. I am the Amazon for my own life. So if you want to get it, go to www.olumideemmanuel.org, and the payment system there is secure. So I am doing my own personal Amazon, so that I will sell my book by myself from my own platform. So anywhere you are in the world, olumideemmanuel.org, you go there, secure payment platform there, and then you get the book.
All right, thank you so much. Final questions. Do you have a mentorship program for people who want to learn? And what are your last words for us, sir?
Yes, I have a mentorship program, but my mentorship program is not free. I don't do free mentorship, because when people don't pay, they don't pay attention. So if you want to be mentored, the mentorship program is what I call the Billionaires Conclave. The Billionaires Conclave. So if you go to my website, www.olumideemmanuel.org/conclave, you go and download the brochure. The brochure is free. The mentorship program is $3,000 per annum for individual and $10,000 per annum for corporate organization, and that accommodates 5 people. And when you go to olumideemmanuel.org, download the brochure. Just go to Billionaires Conclave, download the brochure, study it, and get in touch with us. I don't do free mentorship. And then my last word will be 1,000 good intentions are not as powerful as one action. So you have heard so much in the last 1 hour. Don't just take notes. Get out there and start acting on what you have heard. And I'll see you at the top.
Right. Thank you so much, friends. Can we give Dr. Olumide Emmanuel applause for that wonderful session? 1,000 intention cannot be compared to one action. Like I've always said, also, knowledge should not be gently embraced. It should set you up for an action. All right. Thank you everyone for joining. Those who are joining us from diaspora, wherever you are in every part of the world, we appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining. This program is brought to you by the Ubong King Foundation, and we are going to be organizing something like this. As a foundation, there are 6 tribes. I mean, these tribes are strategically positioned to fit in for everybody. The first one, we have the creative tribe. You have the creative tribe. These are people who think of new ideas for new frontiers. We also have the thinkers. These are people who initiate amazing thoughts, to provide solution to something in society. We also have the organizers. These are category of people who actually administer things. They see through things. We also have the focus tribe. These are people who get things done. There are people who do things and make sure that things are done in the right way. We also have the disruptors. These are people who change the status quo. They are called the revolutionaries. They are people who challenge the status quo, people who move things. Then finally, we have the energizers. These are bad guys. They are people who have the energy. They use their energy to power a move. They use their energy to power a vision. They use their energy to power a goal. So guys, wherever you think you can find your place in, these 6 tribes are actually there to find a community. Don't forget, you mentioned about community. You need community. When you are together, you get stronger. Coming together makes you stronger. So this community, 6 tribe, is a community that's been created by Dr. Ubong King. If you're a fan of Dr. Ubong King, if you love him so much, then this foundation, these 6 tribes that I mentioned, has been prepared for you to actually, be able to communicate your quota to actually sustain his legacy. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been an awesome moment keeping you here. I'm definitely sure that things will no longer remain the same. There are some things that you will have to stop doing, and there are some things that you will start doing. Thank you everyone for joining as we watch Dr. Ubong King still start to round off. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much. You can always tag Dr. Olumide Emmanuel. Whatever you have learned after this session, tag him online. His Instagram name is Olumide Emmanuel, OLUMIDEMANUEL. You can tag him, tag the Ubong King Foundation. Everything you have learned about this program, let us spread the word. And if you are interested in any of this tribe, you can chat our Instagram account, the Ubong King Foundation. You can chat there, the account, every of the details for you to find a tribe. Every of the answers you need will be provided for you. My name is Ivan George, and I'm just a boy. Take care, guys.
God faithful, now your responsibility too much. God faithful, now your load too much. Load where God not give you, you carry am. Because somewhere in your subconscious mind, if this one no make am, this one go make am. So listen and listen well. Do you know why many of us are poor in Africa? It's the black tax he was talking about. Oh, we carry load that does not belong to us.
We had a report that they were going to shut Nigeria's border down because COVID happened in China. China. Something happened in China and the economy of different countries were destroyed. There are two things that you are going to get in life. Number one is reason, and number two is result. No matter how fine that tree is, if there are no fruits in it, nobody goes there. Your beauty or your handsomeness is rubbish without results. Your responsibility is to sharpen your skills, pound your brain. It is not a function of his height, not a function of his color, but a function of his brain.